Here we go, chat. This is what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to actually talk about this. This one actually piqued my interest. Perfect Dark may have looked rougher than we thought, as this last trailer was basically fake. I remember there was a trailer a while back, many years ago, that they showed for a video game, and apparently that was also fake too. The actual like trailer that they showed. I wonder what game that is.
In the last video that I had posted, or let's just say discussion
Let's take a
slash,
look at it. I'm curious. I'm very curious what this is all about, actually, to be honest. Wow, he sounds really low. I'm gonna boost the audio a little bit. Sounds really low.
rant that I had posted, I was talking about Perfect Dark's pretty much cancellation. So with that, someone had mentioned in the comments section that Perfect Dark's trailer that I was showcasing in the video was basically fake, and I was like, nah, ain't no way it was. In my mind, I was thinking that, and then I found the article as I was reading his comment, like while I was halfway through it, and it turns out that someone on Blue Sky, basically a journalist from Kotaku. I don't know how much people trust Kotaku. I try not to keep too much up with like game journalists, as like they're not like what they were.
Someone, take care, Hazu. Be safe. Someone as at the time also told me it was basically fake. This was joint project with Crystal Dynamics in a studio that also struggling with Tomb Raider.
Or back in the day. Like nowadays, it's a little wonky.
Fake
It's not for the love of the
trailers.
game. It's always like something that somebody is trying to push or peddle, you know? But in this particular case, this individual said that he was told last year during the Xbox showcase that Crystal Dynamics, partnering with the initiative, that they had created sort of a pseudo trailer, a pseudo gameplay trailer, which is kind of interesting because some of
Well,
it,
why do you think Xbox started closing down studios? Because they had nothing to show at the end of the day.
it looked legit, some of it didn't in some cases. In my mind, I just, chalked it up to scripted sequences, as, a lot of gameplay trailers, they'll show you scripted events. But now I'm becoming of the mindset, especially after Cyberpunk 2077. I think I'm just about to not start trusting these trailers now. Just in general, until I can like see somebody sit physically down in front of my very eyes and I can see them play that game, I don't think I'm gonna trust it, because it's very easy for you to fake things now, especially in the age of AI. It's very easy for you to fake things, and that's not to say that, well,
It's
there.
not. It's not even with AI in general. Like you can just literally like make an actual like fake gameplay with like a fake UI on it on top of it. One of the other best examples that they did this was the what's the name of that one zombie game that they faked super hard? What was the name of that the day after tomorrow, or the day of tomorrow, or something tomorrow? I forgot what it was called, to be honest. Hey, yeah, it was a mistake. Okay, buddy.
There are going to be a lot of dissing.
It's more of an ideal concept for investors to be intrigued and then invest money into the project. That's what it basically is. It's a concept, you know. I think it was called The Day After Tomorrow or something like that.
Genuine pieces of media out there that's actually trying to portray what the game will.
Well, Watch Dogs mostly downgraded their graphics. The game itself was not completely fake compared to that one zombie game. And I think if I remember correctly, it was the same thing for Anthem. It was the same thing for Anthem.
Will inevitably look like, or not inevitably
They
look like, but
should.
would potentially look like. Because in this
Because
particular,
Xbox is a little bit at fault here that they're not really reviewing and like kind of like taking a look at these studios. If they're not producing what they need to be producing, just shut them off, you know?
case, like the idea for all of this was they wanted it. That whole trailer was for them to get it to look like what they wanted the end product to be. But my thing is, if you're not there, don't show anything. Like legitimately last year, if you would have never shown that trailer, I would have never bought an Xbox Series X. Like legitimately, I would have never bought it.
The day before, is
I
that
would
what it
have
was
still
called?
had my Xbox
Yeah.
One. I would have still had my I still have my
That one was
PS5.
completely
I
fake.
still
The
got my
trailer was
Switch,
completely
and
fake
I
itself
mostly play PC games.
because
But
it was a rendered cuts video with like fake like a fake UI on it or something like that, you know. It could be a fake UI or it could just be like they made that specific segment like that, you know. But it
that's
was never
pretty
a
much
full-fledged
where I
game.
would
It could
have
be
been at with
either
everything.
the two,
You know,
so.
it's just odd hearing this because I remember a similar situation. I was able to figure it out with Cyberpunk because it was a little weird. Like you could see the weirdness, but I guess in this particular case, like nostalgia took over, and then nostalgia taking over for me. I acted rashly and I impulsively bought something just sheerly based off of that nostalgia. But hearing that they faked it or potentially faked it. I still don't know how much I trust this person because, again, it could be hearsay. But given that the game was canceled, and on top of that, Microsoft has canceled, or let me stop saying Microsoft.
That's true. That's true because like they canceled this game, so that means something. Either this was fake, they had nothing to show, right? To like Xbox in general. They're probably Xbox asked them, okay, so what are we gonna get this game or so, you know? Because people like the trailer. So how much are you got it completely done? They're kind of like, well, you see, we really didn't start on it, so we just kind of make it a trailer, like a concept or so, to see if people are interested in it. And then Xbox was probably like, you're done, probably, and like. I'd be like, maybe in the next like 5 years or so, you'll get the game, and then they're probably like, nope.
So, because I think that's the other thing too. What we need to realize as gamers is that it's not all of Microsoft. Microsoft is pretty much the parent company, right? They're the umbrella that every other division is under because it's not just Microsoft. There's
This is
also
perfect
Azure.
timing too, as
There's
well. That
Microsoft
means that means
365.
the game
There's
itself
the
was
Windows
just
operating system,
probably
and then you have
non-existent, you
like
know.
different hardware divisions and all that, depending on certain things like the Surface division, etc. Right? So the Xbox division in particular, because that is their gaming division, the Xbox division. So with the Xbox division has been on bull since Bill Gates did. I don't know about y'all. I've been following Xbox since the original joint, since the OG back in 2002. If we want to be legitimate, since like they announced that they was going to get into the race like back in 1999, 2000. So I've been following them for a minute. When Bill Gates was at the helm, they was getting things done. Bill Gates recruited Epic Games, in particular Cliff Bleszinski. They got Gears. They also had Bungie. Bungie made the Halo series. They got BioWare. BioWare made Jade Empire and the KOTOR series. Like things were getting done. You know what I mean? Peter Molyneux with Fable, even though Peter Molyneux was, lying through his teeth a lot of times, he still produced a quality product, something that you could play, experience, have fun with, even though it wasn't always featuring everything that he talked about. In this particular case, though, it's like, what is really going on over here, man?
Hmm.
Like, what's happening? How are all of these studios? Number one, how did the Redfall incident happen? Number two, how are all of these studios getting this guap, but they're putting out subpar material? Like let's really think about it. Starfield, subpar material. Redfall, subpar material. And then on top of that, the things that came out that was good, like Hi-Fi Rush, they annexed them instead of like propelling them up.
Apparently, with like Hi-Fi Rush in general, apparently, there was no actual concrete evidence that it actually sold well. You know, that's what I heard. You know, yeah, well, technically, like there's more to it than besides toxic positivity. You know, like they because like number one, they had like no expertise of how to make a online game when they're mostly focused on doing single player games, and even then, a lot of people left or so when that happened too. Because apparently Xbox was like going. I don't know who specifically said it or so to go towards them or so to make an online, game when they literally don't. They literally have zero expertise on online stuff.
At the quality of the product, I get it. At the end of the day, money, guap. It's a business going business. If it ain't making a guap, all right, cool. We might have to get rid of a couple of things here and there. But you could see that team made a quality product, but y'all,
We don't know exactly. We don't know what the actual like accumulation of what actually caused the studio to. Well, not it's not really shut down because someone else picked it up. So
hand them. The only thing you will really have to do in that situation is have them refactor, like working something that would be beneficial towards.
it's still not technically closed because someone else bought it.
Want.
So,
but instead, you clap them. It don't make sense to me. Like all of Xbox's like ideas and the way that they're moving.
oh yeah, I forgot they like kind of like dropped it out of nowhere. I remember. Oh yeah, I remember that. There's like no marketing or anything like that. They just kind of like bloop.
And even Phil Spencer's defeatist attitude when he said that it don't matter if we make the greatest game ever, it don't matter, no one will come out and buy an Xbox. I went and bought an Xbox for Perfect Dark, you dummy. But it turns out it might have been a lie. So it's like when you really think about it, right?
It's not the first time or the last time we're gonna hear about this, about a trailer being fake,
And you just take a look at everything that's on the table. I don't think Xbox know what they're doing no more. At first, I was kind of on the fence.
No, Xbox does know what they're doing. They're cutting off the fat or so in their company specifically to actually like condense and make things a lot better,
Like, oh, they were showcasing some good stuff and all that. No, I don't think they know what they're doing anymore. You know the reason why I don't think they know what they're doing anymore? Or I think they don't know what they're doing anymore? And it's pretty much simple. Who's managing all of these teams? Who's handling all of these different who's actually doing the producer work in these situations? Who's making sure that deadlines are being met, milestones are being reached, all of those type of deals, right?
Well, why do you think they canceled, the studios and the games that weren't doing their job, It's kind of like, they do know what they're doing. Like, I don't think Phil Spencer is a retard or anything like that, Guy knows what he's doing. Why do you think he's cutting down the fat?
Who's actually verifying the quality of these products?
This guy. Yeah, I'm gonna res that shit in 8K. I need to know if that pussy has enough juice coming out.
If nobody is doing it, or if nobody that can be legitimately trusted is doing it, and then Microsoft is continuously having a hands-off based approach, or not Microsoft, my bad, that's on me. Xbox
60 times the detail.
Hands-off approach.
I so would like to do that meme or so, 16 times the hentai fuda.
Their development studios, even though their development studios have been very mixed in the quality of the products that they put out, then what in the Pillsbury Fudge is going on, bro? Like, why aren't you being more hands-on to ensure that terms are being met with these deals that you're striking with these different companies? And it's not like you paying peanuts for these companies. Granted, Microsoft is $1 trillion company. Xbox division is not $1 trillion branch.
Shut up and take my money.
There. Microsoft $1 trillion, but it's not even coming from the Xbox line. Xbox does not even equate to the amount of money that they're bringing in from Azure, that they're bringing in from Microsoft 365, that they're bringing in from the Windows operating system, that they're bringing in from, well, they might bring in more money than Surfaces. I don't even know anyone that has a Surface, but we're going to leave that there. But still, there are other subscription-based services that they have does not equate to like they can't, or the Xbox division can't equate to those other subscription, services, because those have a net need outside the small microcosm of gaming. You know what I mean? Those are used for enterprises. Those are used for like everyday users and everything. But my bad, I went on a tangent, a main tangent at that. But my whole point is, I think that Xbox is being led poorly. I don't know who lead it. I don't know who's in control, who's in charge of quality control there. But they need
for quality control is usually based on the studios themselves, because they have a quality control team for every single game that they actually make, and then they send it over to Xbox in general to say like, here you go, the product is done, and then
to fix that. And I think I've made my decision. I'm selling this Xbox. I'm done. I'm good. I'm good. It just takes one thing for me to peep it. Once I peep it, I'm out. I'm gonna give me a Steam Deck, and I'm gonna be good. I've been planning on getting one for a minute. But with that being said, what do y'all all think about this, man? Like, how do you all feel about like the very haziness of potentially the Perfect Dark trailer being fake?
It's not the first time. It's generally not the first time that Perfect Dark is. This isn't the first time that a video game trailer was fake. That's all I gotta say. It's just like it's not the first time. It's like it's been multiple times that trailers have been fake in general, you know? They should be, unless the studio lied to them and be like, yeah, we're working on a game, we're working on a game itself, Remember, at the end of the day, it really depends on the studio themselves if they're actually doing the job. That's why. Why do you think they cut them off immediately with Xbox? Xbox cut them out. Maybe because they literally had nothing to show in general. Like if I remember correctly, right? Yeah. And there was like specific other ones too in general. Like I said, right, there are a lot of like specific other games that were like completely like faked in general, so you can do your own research on it specifically. We all know that Ubisoft just kind of like, they kind of like downgrade their graphics at the end of the day, so that's the only reason why. So yeah, overall it's kind of like, I wouldn't be surprised if they actually like revealed or so that it was actually fake, or partially was fake, or only that specific zone was actually like quote unquote made real, and there was no actual world, there was no actual like an actual story or anything like that. It was just a concept trailer. Sorry about that. Hit my mic. But yeah, overall, I wouldn't be surprised if that's what it came out to be at the end of the day. But who knows? Who knows? Unfortunately, there's only like one person who has said this specifically, unless there's actually more about it. But who knows? We won't get any details on it because they won't say anything about it in general, unless some developer from behind the scenes actually says it. True. You know what? I'll give benefit of the doubt to Mind's Eye. At least that was a real game, okay? At least that game actually came out. It came out pretty buggy and not a good game, but at least it wasn't Perfect Dark. At least. Xbox Cinema is doing quality control in my opinion because that a hands-on action EA CEO at the time got involved with Anthem and basically got them to put back flying in the game. Yeah, it's like they definitely like probably saw or so or asked, you know, because like people were excited about this, right? I assume some people were like, I don't know how big of a, you know, of a noise or so this made specifically, this game itself. And then Xbox was probably like, okay, so when are we gonna get this game? You know, because we showed your trailer, you know, in this time frame. Like we want this game to come out within like a year or two from now. And then probably the people from the studio were probably like, you know, we were too harsh on we were too harsh on Veilguard, Avowed, and Conquer. Shut the fuck up. And then probably the developers were like, maybe can we get like 3 or 4, maybe 5 years? And then probably like Xbox was probably like, nah. When it comes to game trailer, if there's no gameplay footage, then start to doubt it. Yeah, if Xbox is not frequently checking on their studios, this is a lack of quality control. Yeah, that is because if we take a look at it, right? The Perfect Dark trailer in general, right?
Your target is in possession of a radioactive device. Stop Carrington's attack at all costs. Good luck, Agent.
I always knew I had an instinct. I could see the world differently. I thought it would be like any other mission. I was wrong.
Plus, also at the same time, the character doesn't look very attractive. You know, my personal opinion.
Welcome to Garden City, where it's a pleasant 23 degrees all day, every day.
How far to his last known location?
Local forces are also tracking his whereabouts. You need to find him before they do.
I'll have to improvise.
Generating voice print.
افتح ارسل واحدا آخر. اختبر البوابة بحسب.
Is it?
What readings are you getting?
We're getting odd readings from your monitor. Can you confirm?
I'm looking at the screen.
Because the way how this trailer, like the way how the trailer is rendered and everything. Oh, who knows? I don't really know. The way how I see this trailer, it looks like only like this segment it's like really super well polished. So it made me think like, you know how like Black Myth Wukong came out that one trailer, and I was like, damn, this trailer looks really good. It feels like the game is like almost done, you know?
Now.
Like there's no texture pop-ins in the distance, there's no frame rate drops, you know?
Places Carrington on the second floor.
When the life we think we know turns out to be a lie. There's only one way forward. Find the truth. Scan's clear. I'm going in blind.
Carrington! Damn it!
Analyze. What am I looking at here?
Carrington appears to be targeting a research facility. If he attacks it, the casualties could be astronomical.
Agent Stark, it's a pleasure to meet you. I could use someone with your skills.
to lose every...
Hmm.
I had to lose everything before I could see. What this world was really hiding.
I hope you're ready, Agent Dark.
Are you all seeing this?
Once you open this door, there's no going back.
I can sense, like, I can sense fakeness from this. I don't know why. My gamer senses are like tingling or so about this specific trailer. Just this trailer alone just kind of gives me like something's rubbing me the wrong way with this trailer. Don't know, I can't really put my finger on it, but it's something about it just kind of like gives me like a little like person in the back of my head saying like, this isn't real.
I had to lose everything before I could see.
I think I found it. I think I found it. I think I found it.
Before I could see.
I found it. I knew it. I fucking knew it. I knew something odd was happening with this trailer. Look at the bullets. Look at the bullets on the bottom right, chat. So it says 10 and 78, right? So she has 78 reserved and 10 in the magazine, right? Take a look at it.
Before I could see.
The bullets in the actual magazine, okay, so it went up to 18, right? Right?
Before I could see.
But it just like automatically went up to 18.
Before I could.
So that shit was delayed by slightly a little bit, right? But watch this though. She shoots, still 18. She shoots, still 18. It's still 18. See? The bullets are still 18 after shooting 2 enemies still.
What this world was really hiding.
And also the weird thing about this too in general, this part right here, let me see. So they swapped over, so she swapped over to bullets in general.
Someone with your skills?
When did she swap over to this bullet in general? That's my question to ask. I take back what I said. It ain't that smooth anymore.
Agent Stark, it's a pleasure to meet you. I could use someone with your...
She immediately like had electrical bullets to begin with? Question mark. She did. She actually did.
Scan's clear. I'm going in blind. Carrington!
Even if you tell me it's like, oh, but it's like a QTE mechanic or so it doesn't use any bullets. I'm like that doesn't make any sense, you know? When you're shooting a gun in real life, even if it's that kind of like targeting or so that automatically targets one enemy and then shoots the other one or so, like the Deadeye or so from from Red Dead Redemption, you still use a bullet in your chamber when you're shooting at them, you know? I'm just saying.
Damn it! Analyze. What am I looking at here?
Carrington appears to be targeting a research facility. If he attacks it, the casualties could be astronomical.
It's a magic gun.
Agent Stark, it's a pleasure to meet you. I could use someone with your skills.
Excuse me? Did you see that? Did you guys see that? Look at the bullets again. Look at the bullet counter again. What the fuck? There's only 2 enemies. She only shot 2 bullets, but it went down 3. 16. And then it went down to 13. No, because you only hear 2 shots coming out of the gun. Yeah, and then all the other times, the bullets are literally only coming out 1.
I had to lose everything.
Yeah, they fucked up this entire scene, to be honest. So 1 bullet shot this guy right here. 1 bullet over here. That's 2 bullets. 16. 13. Goes down to 13. There's no indication of it, you know, doing a triple burst, because this is literally, because you want to know why? This is before that fight from the previous. This is before this scene right here. See, we're facing this way. The cutscene. Also, this trailer makes no fucking sense either. The way how it's cut and sliced everything. Now we're facing the opposite direction, but then in the next scene, we're on the other side where we just shot the 2 guys pointing this way. Right? Now we're going through this way, right?
I had to lose
And then now we're back here in this cutscene again, but then this guy just magically appears out of nowhere. This guy in general right here, it comes out of nowhere.
everything.
And then now we're going that way in general. So it's just like, interesting. So we're in this hallway. There's the gate right there, right? And now since we came from over here, we were sliding this way. Now we're over here on this side, going that way in general, like the opposite direction. And then now we're back on this side over here. Now going the opposite direction in the same area.
I had to lose.
And then now we're back on this side. But you want to know something? Where's the guy that they shot over here, though? Look at this. Look at where this guy is at. This guy is here, and this guy is here, right? I don't know where this body came from, but yeah, look at this. Look at where the bodies are at from this specific cutscene. I want you guys to memorize this. Memorize this good, okay? All right? Now watch. Let's go back a little bit. There he is back there. He's right here. There's this guy here.
I had to lose everything. I had to lose everything.
Look where he's at now. And if we slow it down, I want to see one thing too. I want to see one thing real quick. I need to slow it down even further, actually. Yeah, see? Also, who are they shooting at too? Wait, chat. Where is this bullet trail going off to? Why is it going all the way over here? We're standing over here. This person is shooting straight. I just noticed this bullet trail that's going off all the way over here to her right. Whoa, what is that? What is that cut? What? Okay. This just proves this is fake. This is fake. The only AI that hasn't involved FPS AI. Yeah, it's fake. This is fake. This is 100% fake. After like reviewing the trailer itself, there's some things that makes no sense in this trailer whatsoever. Also, I just noticed these things are just standing still in the air as well. They're not even doing anything. They're just standing still. The choreography game of the year. Like they have rotor wings. They have like little rotors or so on their wings. They're not even rotating or anything like that. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. After reviewing the Perfect Dark trailer itself, this is not real. This trailer is not real whatsoever. I knew something was up with this trailer. When I first saw this trailer, some red alerts like were in my head or so. It'd be like, there's something weird, there's something odd about this game. Couldn't put my finger into it though. That's the only thing. And after rewatching this in general, I was like, Yep. Yep. It's real to me. It ain't real. Anyways, that's the end of the video. You guys can comment, like, subscribe, do all that fancy jazzy stuff. Yeah, this is one of the videos that I wanted to look at or so about like the Perfect Dark trailer was actually fake. It's not real. So there are some things in this trailer that makes no sense. I'd be very curious if I send this to my friend or so who's like who's a game developer to tell me if this was fake, you know? I'd be very curious. But yeah. Anyways, that's the end of the video. And yeah, Xbox is cleaning up house because they can't seem to monetize their house themselves. They need to do more they do definitely need to do more quality control over there on Xbox's side, but hey, at least they didn't pull a Concord move, okay? All right? Remember, Sony pushed in a lot of money or so for Concord, even though they had nothing to show. Nothing, you know, no progress was being made whatsoever for Concord. At least in this one, Xbox didn't put in more money into the game. You know, they were like, nope, you have nothing to show? Well, you're out of here. So, hey, man. Seems good enough for me, in my personal opinion. Anyways, that's the end of the video. And peace.